Big story breaking. And I don't like doing Trump stuff. I don't know what. It's not that I don't care. I just don't care. I mean, it's not that I'm not a non-supporter of him or supporter. You know, it's news, and it's kind of a big deal. With what's going on, and most everybody knows what's going on, whether you like him or not, or if you agree with him or not. That's fine if you don't. And we all have our own opinions about things, but there's things that are not opinions. There's things that are facts. And I know, as a working man that worked in retail while he was in office, our store did almost double what it did. I'm talking about before the sickness came through, the virus came along. Before that, now during that, it got crazy. We made so much money because people was getting these checks. So my point is, this is just news, and his jury trial as of like 4 o'clock Central Time or so today. They sent back 4 questions to the judge, asking about some different conversations with these 2 or 3 different guys. So that tells you how much I know. I just see kind of the cover of what's going on. I'll read the big take and kind of what's happening, but I'm just not gonna spend a lot of my time reading details of the case. And I'm not trying to be cliche or, well, you just got it figured out then, don't you, man? You just, hallelujah, hallelujah. Christ is king, okay? And I think some people get caught up in this, and that's what bothers me with it. And we got to be careful what we're worshiping. Not saying that there's probably some people do worship Trump. There's people that worship Biden too. I'm sure there are. There's failure and falter in all of us. So that's where the jury's at. And that's kind of why I don't like to do politics stuff, because you're going to get crazy bad comments. That's what's going to happen. And I don't care enough about it. I care more about football than I do to argue politics. I'd rather talk football politics because it matters to me a little bit. I'm just not ready to throw the gloves down and march off in a duo and turn around and, over who's going to be president of the country, because Christ is king of the world and he's coming. I would rather spend a little more time with preparing myself for that, or doing what I'm doing now, preparing people and speaking about stuff like we just watched, and maybe just bringing up some questions, or I'm asking questions too. That video we just watched. Hey, I'm curious, man. What's up with that? So this next video, and if you hadn't seen it, Hollywood elitist living in their own bubble. 81-year-old Robert De Niro, fantastic actor. I don't think he's ever done a bad movie. I can't think of none. Huge fan. Huge. I mean, I'm serious. I'm trying to think of a bad movie. You could probably pick out one of his less than movies. And again, what I started with about this topic, everybody has, and obviously he feels like throwing the gloves down, and by darn it, De Niro will just throw down with you right there in town over this topic, over a guy that's old and blind, has hardly no clue what's going on half the time. This up in the White House, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to say running the country. That's terribly understated. He's eating ice cream, man, and making some video appearances, and they're propping him up. And he believes in that guy enough to get up here and make a speech like this. Bro, yeah, more power to you, and God bless you, because I'm not into it enough. I'll just say that. So this is Robert De Niro, and this is what he had to say. And maybe you can hear it. I'll try to get the volume up. I'm going to blow you away here, but Okay, if you can see on the screen there, let me put this over on the big side because it is a little small there. In the middle there, where he says his name, right above that's him, and he's in this group of people, and another is a cut frame right above this, and he's with some cops that were at the January the 6th deal. They were, I guess, cops working there. They were working that day, and he tries to prop them up at the end, and that's fine, that's good. But those two particular cops allegedly have give some false statements, and I don't know if this. I don't think this video gets into more detail, but I'll tell you up front that he really thinks that by Trump making a comment of, hey, look, guys, I didn't win. And when they come after me, they're really coming after you. And we can't really stand for that. And we got to, stick together and fight back. That's no different than what Jane Fonda said in the 60s. And the people that wore, the bell bottoms and all the ladies that burnt their bras. And, it's just, a comment of trying to be together as one, and stick together. And there's so much bad information out there. So much. He's like, these guys stood up there and there was, police guys, died. The guy that died from a heart attack like 2 days later in the hospital. God rest his soul. But that's just false. The videos are out there, and I don't know. I'm not sure why some people keep selling that idea. I don't understand. Because you can see videos with these. They open the gates, let them in, and then they were opening doors. It's like they were getting a tour of the whole Parliament down there, going down around the seats, and hey, look over here. That's where Pelosi, she's staying right up there. Why don't you go up there and get the gavel and pop it like she does? That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed. It seemed like it was that way because we could see how they're just being welcomed in. So there's just, and the FBI, Russia, collude stuff. We found out they admitted it. The guy that signed the dossier stuff that Hillary passed down, he admitted, well, we knew it was not true, but we signed it anyway, just to stir up some news. He admitted live on the news. You can find it anywhere. And I was watching that, and I was flipping by and I seen a clip, and I was like, he so-and-so FBI director, admits, and I was like, yeah, that's just a title. That's trying to get you to click on this. So I'll play it. He just says it. He's got big old eyes. He says, that Hillary passed down the paper and I just signed it. We all kind of knew that it just wasn't completely all truth, but we had to have some good news, good or bad. Either way, it's news, try to hurt him. So that's the kind of stuff that's going on. And it's just surprising that such a great actor and a great guy like Robert here, I don't know why they fall in. I tell you what, somebody told me now, this is a good opinion. They said they're actors. I don't think he's broke. I wouldn't think he is. Gosh, he's been doing movies since forever. I mean, he's been doing movies since what? 70s. So he's been doing movies 45 years, 50. So if he's out of money and he's getting paid to act, is the point that somebody made. They're giving him money to get up there and he's an actor. And he's reading from this piece of paper, and he's not being a really good actor because he has to keep looking down at the paper. Now I know he's getting old and he can't remember stuff. He's not the actor that he once was, but it's just it's a little disheartening to see actors people that you've seen in so many, everything he's done is good. And I'll still watch it if something comes on today. I got a Godfather little, one of those little puppet things, little pop doll things over here, anniversary edition, The Godfather. Vito. Everybody loves all those old movies, okay? And De Niro and Pacino and all those guys are great. And I'm not going to say, some people will say, well, he's a millionaire. Why he needs to keep his stupid opinion to himself? What's the matter with what he thinks? Well, because he's an American. That's what matters, what he thinks. He's got all the rights in the world to stand up there and say all he wants to say. Now, the news don't have to cover it, but they are going to put a camera on him more than they are on me because of his time that he's put in front of the cinematic cameras and him being somebody special to some people. Now, that don't matter to me. It don't matter to the man above. That's why I ain't worth throwing the gloves down the ground. Boy, I tell you what, you don't tell me about Trump. Because I just don't care enough to do that. I'd rather spend time. I'd rather argue over football. Watch it on Sunday night at 6 o'clock. So check this out, and we'll get off here.
And believe me, he means it. When Trump ran in 2016, it was like a joke. This buffoon running for president. No, never could happen. We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance. And no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all. We don't want to wake up after the election saying, what, again? My God.
Okay. Now, again, what? I mean, I wish he would clarify. Well, they will, and then you just shake your head and go, no, that's not true. Maybe in your big mansion that you live in, that you get out like once a month to go to town or go sign a book or something. Maybe in your own world, and when you only watch one particular brand of news, how about I just determined just hardly not watch any of it, because they all have an agenda. They all got, stuff to sell. And if you want everybody like you, like O'Crane says, well, just like Nick Saban said, you need to sell ice cream if you want people like you. And these news people don't care. But what do we not like? What? I mean, what was all the insurrection and burning? Well, we found out who that was. It was that guy, initials GS, funding a lot of this stuff, Antifa and those people, because you could see people protesting. But in the background, these people in these black outfits with black masks and like ninja suits, they had like real weapons, like knocking windows out of stuff. And I remember, I'll never forget it. I was because I have family in Atlanta. So I was watching, they were tearing up the streets right there in Atlanta. And so the black gentleman, 70, 80, news reporter stopped him on the street, and I just felt terrible for him. I said, sir, what do you think about all this? And he said, I've just never thought. I never dreamed that I'd see white people down here tearing our streets up. Why don't they go home? What are all these white people? And he's standing there looking at them. So I just thought, wow, it was, it's just crazy. It's just mind blowing to see that, So those things that they say, was the problem when he was in office. Those things were paid for by a group that wants this country to fail and go bankrupt so they can buy it. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you just want to boil it down to a short sentence, it's my opinion. Everybody's titled to their own. So let's do De Niro.
My God, what the hell have we done?
Don't put him in office again.
No, wait. Maybe I do.
Oh, maybe I do need. I need to scare you.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. That's the tyrant he's telling us he'll be. And believe me, he means it.
Okay. I don't know where he's pulling his info from, but more power to you, Robert. Love your movies, buddy. You keep doing them darn mafia movies and stuff, and I'm gonna watch them. I don't think he's doing any more movies. Even what was the movie with the family? Falkers. Those are good. He's a CIA dad, and teaches the baby, sign language, and those are good movies, man. They're funny, and it's good to see him. He could take on a different role and be funny, and obviously he's taken on that same role and he's still being funny. Good job, man. Good job, Robert. What a great acting job. So don't let me keep you up anymore. Just wanted to share those things, and some of those are highly opinionated, and I'm asking questions. That first one we watched there with the Jewish guy, if you know more than I do, I am all ears. Please comment below and tell me, Matt, you're just overreacting. They're not all like that. Some of them think that Jesus was, a great guy. He just is not our Messiah, but we're not going to dog him and call him Satan. That guy calls him Satan and then says that we're worshiping idols. But I told you I understood that. And then he did go back into that. I understand what he's saying. But what I didn't get about some of that was his thoughts of there's not just one God. How can you be a Jew and keep the commandments when, the commandment is there's no gods above me or below me. I am I'm the Alpha and the Omega. So their commandments say you just worship me, the one God. Do I need to pull the 10 Commandments up? So maybe he's forgot them. Did he forget the 10 Commandments? I don't know. Anyway, thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with the big story here on Big Mac Podcast. We'll be bringing some other news from around the way, and keep your eyes open and keep your heads bowed and your heads definitely clear and your heart's full of God. And that'll take you right through it, okay? Through the rest of the week, and grab you an umbrella, probably Saturday. All right. Thank y'all.